Well, I've been putting this one off for a while, several months actually. Um, Ran across a subject uh, 11, 12 months ago that I thought was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard in my life, actually. Uh, Buddy of mine online caught him in a debate, and he was debating that the earth was indeed flat. I thought it was a joke. I hit him up a little later on a messenger service and said, "Hey, man, I saw your little debate there. Were you not serious about the Earth being flat? Are you?" And he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's flat." Uh, well, I said, "Okay." I ended the messaging pretty quick. Uh, and just had to let that settle in for a minute because I know this guy. I mean, he's a pretty intelligent fellow by all of the rights, um, but the level of stupidity that you have to even think about the Earth being flat, I had to let that one soak in a little bit. I was furious that anyone would even contemplate this subject. Oh man, that's not like me. That's not me of all people thinking about something is stupid. Hey, that's a little over the top. There's no need to go overboard here. Everybody sucks at something. I can't throw a nice spiral football. It's just it can't happen. Spelling, one for spell check. I couldn't write a note without somebody thinking I'm an idiot. Hey, some people suck at math. Some people can't drive. Everybody sucks at something. And my friend obviously sucks at science. So I'll be polite. I'll be respectful. And I'll get back in touch with him and see where he's coming from on this. And then, after I see his evidence, what's convinced him, I'll go back to the 500 years of actual science, and I will be able to easily rebut anything that he has to say on the subject. And so I did. I messaged him back. I said, "Hey, this is pretty interesting. I'd like to uh, exercise my mind a little bit, take it out of the norms, put down all the stuff that I think that I know, and think along another path. It's if nothing else, it's a good mental exercise. Though I told him, hey, I really don't think the Earth is flat, but let me see what you got. You got what, articles, videos? What do you got?" So he set me up with a few links, and I checked them out, and I kind of turned a chessboard. Had to turn a chessboard on a subject like this. I had to literally forget what I thought I knew and try to take this information in fresh, so that I could see what was convincing him. If I keep letting my mind turn off what I'm seeing and what I'm reading by saying, "No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong," without consuming the entirety of it all, then there's no way I'm going to be able to discuss this matter with him intelligently, and set him straight on this, because the Earth being flat's ridiculous. We know we're on a spinning ball. We know it's blasting through the universe, through the Milky Way. I mean, we've got NASA, we've got photos, we've got the math, we've got it all, and we've had it for hundreds of years. So my mind was saying, hey, there's no way that this guy is right. There's no way this information is going to be right. But I did take it down there, and pay attention to what they were saying. And oddly enough, there's this whole community now that it seemed rather small and insignificant when I first started researching this, but it's exploded. I mean, it's thousands of people a day are jumping on this subject. And I noticed this growth early on as I was researching it, and I was like, this is incredible, that, this many people are this stupid. They can still work a computer and get the information. It's insane. But I began to understand pretty quick why these people are flocking to this subject. And the reason is, once I started looking at it, the people who are doing the actual science, what I mean by science is using the scientific method to bring a theory through the process of being a hypothesis, and take that hypothesis and make an experiment, a scientific, provable, repeatable experiment that transfers into our senses, our visual senses, our hearing, our whatever it is, bring it into the human condition to where we can understand on a human level, using our senses, that something is true or not true. And the flat earth community were the ones doing the actual science. And the scientific community has made a divergence from the scientific method. And it seemed to start, best I can tell, about the same time that the globe theory and the heliocentric theory of the universe came into being. And this divergence from the scientific method went from something that you can actually prove and bring into the human perception to mathematical models that just go off into nowhere. They're not being used, these mathematical models and these fanciful theories, they're not being used to bring them into our realm of understanding through our perceptions, through our ability to personally, on a personal level, understand. So the first thing that hit me, that made me think, hey, maybe, just maybe, these flat earthers are onto something. And this goes back to, I got to go to what I have personally experienced. I haven't been in a lot of airplanes, but I've been in a few of them that cruised at, 35,000 feet or so. And I remember looking straight out the window at the horizon. It's been a while since I've been on a plane. I don't remember whether I thought, oh, there's a curve or there's not a curve or whatever. But I do remember looking straight out the window at the horizon line. And so I did a little math. First of all, for a sphere, 24,901 miles in circumference, I think it's 3,958 mile radius. The Pythagorean theorem is how you calculate how far that curve goes. How much does it descend? How far downhill and how fast downhill does it go from where you're at, miles out, down and out. So, as it turns out, it is 8 inches per the distance in miles squared. So you take the miles, and I think at 35,000 feet, they figured the miles is I'm thinking like 238, 239 miles. I forget exactly, but that's close. So you multiply that by itself. Then you multiply that by 8, and that gives you the inches of drop. Then you divide that by 12. That gives you the feet of drop. Then you, in this case, you divide by 5,280, which is the feet per mile, and you can tell how many miles of drop there is. So at 35,000 feet, at that distance of a horizon, you're about 6 miles in the air, and you're up here, and the ground that's directly below you is here. As it turns out, that horizon line should be as far below the ground, directly below you, as you are above it. So you're 6 miles above the ground here. Then you got to go downhill, 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 6 miles to see the horizon. Now, my question was, okay, my level of perception, I'm looking straight out at this window at a horizon that is supposedly 12 miles below me. I should be looking out down at the ground directly below me and having to look another 6 miles downhill to the horizon line. And that's not what I'm seeing. And so, I went to Google Images and I brought up picture after picture after picture, hundreds, thousands of pictures out of plane windows. The horizon is straight out at eye level, unless the plane's turning this way or that way. Some people say, oh, well, I can see a little bit of a curve there, or, could be the lens on the camera, could be the shape of the glass, could be the swell of a tide, misty horizon with clouds, whatever. That's not the issue. Do I see a little bit of a curve? The curve you're looking for is not out here at this line. The curve you're looking for is from directly below you down to the horizon. It always has to be downhill on a ball. Even standing on a shoreline with the water lapping up against your feet at the ocean, it's even hard for me to comprehend how that horizon line is at eye level when it has to be downhill from the water at my feet. So this got me thinking. This got me thinking a lot.